Boredom, a word we've learned to fear, something we try to avoid at all costs. We escape it with our phones, our feeds, our constant search for stimulation. But what if boredom isn't something to escape, but something to embrace? In this video, we'll explore why boredom matters more than ever, why doing less can lead to more creativity, more peace, and even a deeper connection to yourself. Because maybe the stillness you're avoiding is where your real life begins. In a hyper-connected world, silence feels unnatural. Moments without stimulation make us anxious. We've been conditioned to avoid boredom as if it were dangerous, a sign of laziness, of uselessness. We reach for distraction the second we're left alone, not because we're busy, but because we're uncomfortable being still. But boredom isn't the problem. It's the discomfort of being left with your own thoughts, your own presence. And over time, we've built lives designed to protect us from ever facing that stillness. But here's the truth. Boredom is not the enemy. It's a doorway, a pause, a message from your mind that space is being created, space for something new. Boredom isn't emptiness, it's potential. It's your mind saying, there's nothing happening out there right now. So maybe it's time to look in here. Psychologically, boredom arises when the brain isn't being stimulated, but that doesn't mean it shuts off. In fact, in boredom, the brain becomes more active internally, wandering, imagining, reflecting. This mental space is where ideas form, where problems untangle, where your subconscious starts to surface. Boredom is a pause in input, so output can rise. Creativity doesn't thrive in chaos. It lives in the gaps. Today, we're overstimulated. Every second, something is calling your attention. Notifications, headlines, updates, recommendations. Your brain is constantly consuming, but rarely resting. And just like overeating makes the body sick, overstimulation wears down the mind. You stop creating. You stop thinking clearly. You feel exhausted without knowing why. It's not because you're doing too little, but because you're processing too much. Ironically, the more you consume, the emptier you feel. The more you chase distraction, the harder it becomes to sit still, and the more you lose touch with your inner world. True rest doesn't come from watching another video or scrolling another reel. It comes from doing nothing, from giving your mind silence and letting your attention settle like dust in still air. The most creative breakthroughs don't come when you're trying hard. They come when you're not trying at all. Boredom gives your brain permission to wander, and in that wandering, patterns form. Strange connections appear. New thoughts emerge uninvited. That's why many of your best ideas happen in the shower, on a walk, right before sleep. Not because you're focusing harder, but because you're letting go. Children instinctively know this. When left alone, they invent, they imagine. They build worlds out of nothing. But as adults, we forget. We trade wonder for productivity, imagination for schedules, presence for progress, and slowly, our inner world dries up, not from lack of intelligence, but from lack of stillness. To revive your creativity, you don't need more content. You need more silence. So how do we welcome boredom back into our lives? Stop filling every gap. Let yourself wait without distraction. In a line, on a walk, between tasks. Create empty time. Schedule moments with no purpose, just to sit, stare, or breathe. Observe discomfort. The urge to grab your phone? That's the threshold. That's the moment to stay. Let your mind wander. Don't force thoughts. Just notice where they go. curiosity will follow. Give yourself boredom, not as punishment, but as space, a sacred pause in a loud world. You'll be surprised what your mind does when it's not being constantly fed. Boredom isn't a failure of your day, it's an invitation to return to yourself, to hear your own thoughts, to rediscover your imagination, to feel something real beneath the noise. In doing less, you might finally make space for what really matters. Try it. Let your next moment of boredom stay untouched. No screen, no escape. Just be. You don't need to fill every second. Some of them are meant to remain open, like windows to something deeper. If this video brought you peace, subscribe. And let me know in the comments, when was the last time you let yourself be truly bored?